Say now that the prospect of that Fury and Joshua fight is kind of way off at the moment.
No, not at all. Why would it be?
Advice is don't do anything until December 21st, Usyk against Fury. If Tyson Fury loses that fight, you set up a big fight with Anthony Joshua.
Eddie Hearn reveals his bold vision for Anthony Joshua's next showdown, a thrilling clash with Tyson Fury. Building on this, pro boxer Anthony Joshua confidently states his commitment to continue fighting. Coming up short isn't seen as a setback, but as motivation to push forward. He embraces the fighter's mentality, determined to keep going and face the next challenge head-on. For him, it's all about resilience and stepping back into the ring stronger than before.
We're trying to create history for British boxing, and I think we're doing that. And also I appreciate all the press, media, the fans out here. I thank them for you guys. I'm sure you guys will let them know we appreciate their support. And probably you're asking, do I still want to continue fighting? Of course I want to continue fighting.
Yeah.
That's what I said is, we took a shot at success and we came up short. And what does that mean now? We're going to run away. We're going to live to fight another day. And that's what I'm a warrior.
And in a show of mutual respect, Anthony Joshua is giving Daniel Dubois his due credit. Even though in the lead up to the fight he might not have had any love for Dubois, now that it's over, he's tipping his hat to him and his team. It's that fighter mentality. Once the dust settles, respect gets paid. Joshua's showing that even when you're in the heat of battle afterward, it's all about recognizing the hard work and effort that went into it. Joshua added, "It's only been a day, but when I sit back and I'm thinking, I know I got a lot of this, man. I know I got a lot of this. I know we got a lot more to bring to the game. And long may it continue. British boxing, I appreciate you. We rise up together. Let's go." Meanwhile, weighing in on Joshua's future, mixed martial artist and professional boxer, Conor McGregor fires back hard at the thought of AJ hanging up his gloves. He shuts down the retirement talk, calling Joshua a straight-up legend who owns the big fights. McGregor makes it clear, getting rocked happens in boxing, but AJ can still bounce back and keep swinging. He ain't done yet.
I just spoke to Ricky Hatton there. He said that as a friend of AJ's, he would like to see him retire. How do you see now?
AJ is number one. This is 8th stadium show here, Eddie and Barry. It's a legend forever.
Is there a way back for this, Conor?
Do you believe? Yes. Sure is. He smacked him back. He stood his ground and smacked him back, and then he went forward and got caught. It's only boxing. You get caught, you catch someone. Of course he can come back, for sure.
Speaking of fighter mindsets, Conor McGregor breaks down Daniel Dubois' mindset going into the fight. He points out that Dubois wasn't feeling any pressure. He came in totally relaxed and focused, which showed when he came out swinging right from the first bell. McGregor explains that if you're up against a fighter like Dubois, who moves back and fires the same punch over and over, you can't just sit back and let him dictate the fight. You've got to step forward, make your move first, and not get stuck reacting to his rhythm. It's about staying ahead and not letting him take control of the pace. On a broader perspective, boxing promoter Frank Warren asserts that Anthony Joshua has people around him to advise him, but ultimately, it's up to Joshua to decide his future. He stresses that no one else should make the decision for him. If Joshua doesn't know when to quit, that's on him.
With 4 fractures of his orbital eye socket and a partially detached retina, and said, oh, he quit, which he didn't. I mean, he was in excruciating pain and did the correct thing, or he wouldn't have had a career. They're all very quick to do that, and as I say, I've been guilty of that in the past. I said that Derek Chisora should have retired 2 years ago, and he went and beat Joe Joyce last fight out. You know, it is what it is, and at the end of the day, AJ's got people around him who's going to advise him what they feel is the best thing for him to do. He's got a family that obviously care about him, and they'll advise him.
The future of heavyweight boxing looks exciting, as boxing promoter Eddie Hearn hints at a potential blockbuster. If Tyson Fury loses to Usyk on December 21st, the stage is set for the long-awaited Fury versus Joshua mega fight. Even if Fury wins, a showdown for the unified heavyweight crown could still be on the cards, setting up one of the biggest clashes in boxing history.
I think any fighter would want to take a rematch. You saw when he got stopped by Andy Ruiz at Madison Square Garden, everyone said, don't take the rematch. You know, give yourself a rebuilding fight and then look at the rematch. He went straight into the rematch. He won every round. When he lost to Alexander Usyk, everyone said, don't take the rematch. You can't beat Usyk. He took the rematch. He lost again. It was a much better performance, but still lost. Now we have to sit and talk together as a team. My advice is don't do anything until December 21st, Usyk against Fury. If Tyson Fury loses that fight, you set up a big fight with Anthony Joshua. If Tyson Fury wins that fight, he could make a voluntary defense against Anthony Joshua.
Keeping fans on edge, Eddie Hearn keeps the suspense alive. He's saying that no matter what happens in Tyson Fury's fight with Usyk, the Fury versus Joshua showdown is still the biggest deal in boxing. If Fury wins, Joshua could still step in as a challenger for the heavyweight title, making it an even more epic fight. It's the kind of bout that would have fans going wild either way. Hearn added, even in defeat, still the biggest star in Britain with Tyson Fury and possibly around the world. Backing this optimism, Tyson Fury's manager Spencer Brown shuts down doubts about the Fury-Joshua fight, saying it's still possible. He emphasizes that in boxing, anything can happen. There's always an upset on every card, and Joshua will regroup. Tyson Fury versus Joshua is far from off the table.
Spencer, just the last one before we let you go, because I know you want to go home. You've been mad all week anyway. Let me say that. Would you say now that the prospect of that Fury and Joshua fight is kind of way off at the moment?
No, not at all. Why would it be? Why would it be?
Well, when Turkey's involved, I suppose that's a good question.
Spencer Brown points out that there's always a surprise or unexpected outcome in every fight card. He's basically saying, don't count anyone out yet. Even if things seem clear now, boxing is unpredictable, and Joshua will regroup and figure things out. There are still lots of possibilities, and nothing is set in stone. Adding to the uncertainty, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn dropped the news that Joshua's got a rematch clause to run it back with Daniel Dubois for the IBF heavyweight belt. Hearn didn't say if AJ's gonna pull the trigger on it right away, but he's got to think this one through after getting dropped a few times in just 5 rounds. Eddie's take? Yeah, I'm sure he'll go for the rematch. No doubt about that, but he needs a breather. It's a risky fight, and Dubois is riding high on confidence. But AJ believes he can hurt him, believes he can take him. Still, you gotta give props to Dubois. He showed up and delivered big time. In terms of strategy, boxing analyst Gareth A. Davies calls it out straight. Joshua shouldn't jump back into the ring with Daniel Dubois so soon. He says it's better for Joshua to hold off and gear up for a big fight with Tyson Fury instead. That matchup could really bring the heat, unlike the one with Dubois, which just wasn't his scene.
Where does he go from here, in your opinion, Gareth?
I don't like the idea of him enacting the rematch clause or invoking the rematch clause, as Eddie Hearn said he might do in the ring. I thought it was far too soon to do it. Needs time to think about it. I wouldn't do it at all. 2 fights in a row like that against Anthony Joshua, and any legacy he wants to walk away from in the sport is shattered. There's no need to fight Daniel Dubois again. 7 years younger, not a good style for him, clearly. I'd hang around for the Fury fight and then retire.
In a harsher take, former pro boxer Chris Algieri bluntly states that Anthony Joshua's skills are shot, his chin is gone, his technique is fading, and he's not championship material anymore. Despite this, Joshua's popularity keeps him relevant, with big money fights against Fury or Wilder still on the table, though they'd likely be his last hurrah.
But in terms of where Anthony Joshua goes from here, he's been adamant saying that he's going to continue his career. I personally don't think we're going to see him at this championship level once again. Does he take a fight with Tyson Fury if Tyson is to lose to Usyk? Possibly. I mean, it's a huge fight. It's a ton of money. I would understand why he would do it. Is he going to fight Wilder in essentially basically a retirement matchup? Very, very possible as well. If they're going to continue to go on, there's money to be made still. Joshua is still extremely, extremely popular.
On the other hand, former pro boxer Paulie Malignaggi fires off that Tyson Fury has played his cards perfectly. Win or lose against Usyk, he's got options. Beat Usyk, fight Dubois, lose, cash in against Joshua. Fury's got the game on lock, making big moves no matter what.
Loser. If Fury Fury actually created himself an option if he wins and if he loses. So if he wins against Usyk, he can go fight Dubois before a third fight with Usyk. If he loses to Usyk, you're right, bro. He can go fight AJ. That's crazy, bro. Like you told me to matchmaker. That's matchmaking. Now Tyson Fury has an option on whether he wins against Usyk and whether he loses against Usyk. If he wants to continue fighting, of course, he has an option because if he wins against Usyk, he can fight Dubois. An all-British showdown in Wembley. If he loses to Usyk, you can still do an all-British showdown at Wembley with AJ.
Moreover, Tyson Fury went wild after watching Anthony Joshua get dropped by Daniel Dubois at Wembley, throwing a wrench in what could have been a blockbuster showdown between the 2 British heavyweights. Fury, sitting ringside, didn't hold back, ripping into Joshua and blasting, "Listen, that's cost me $150 million, the silly shit." Of course it has. He's Fury was banking on a doubleheader in Saudi and London, but Joshua's flop threw a massive spanner in the works. Still, the Fury versus Joshua dream ain't completely dead, especially if Fury catches and loss in his rematch with Usyk. Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, kept the door open, saying, "I don't see it being a fight that ends his career. We may end up fighting the loser of that fight, maybe if it's Tyson Fury." Joshua's crew is grinding to keep his career afloat, eyeing a rematch with Dubois and whatever other shots they can line up to keep the big man in the game. Pro boxer Alexander Usyk slammed Anthony Joshua's performance against Daniel Dubois, calling it amateurish and disappointing.
The footwork was the issue, the mentality was the issue, everything was the issue. I thought I was seeing the man who has the face of AJ, but has a completely different inside. I mean,
the outcome of the fight speaks volumes. Daniel Dubois dominated Anthony Joshua on Saturday, delivering a shocking upset as he handed AJ a boxing lesson. Despite being the favorite to become a three-time world heavyweight champion, Joshua had no answers for Dubois' power and relentless aggression, leaving many stunned as the underdog proved everyone wrong. Critics were quick to point out Anthony Joshua's flawed defense, fighting with his hands down and chin up, making him an easy target for any skilled boxer. Even unified heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk was unimpressed, questioning AJ's footwork, which he felt didn't reflect a fighter of his caliber. Usyk stated, "I'm not shocked because this is boxing. Daniel Dubois today was better. When you step back like this, it's dangerous." Reflecting on his own victories over Joshua, Usyk added, "When I beat Joshua a second time, I don't know what's next." Dubois set the tone for the night right from the start, relentlessly moving forward with hard jabs and powerful right hands, catching Joshua off guard. In the opening round, Dubois landed a clean right hand that sent Joshua to the canvas, and AJ seemed unable to fully recover from that early knockdown. Even Usyk's promoter, Alex Krashik, was stunned, noting Joshua's uncharacteristic mistakes. "I thought I was seeing a man with AJ's face, but it was completely different inside," Krashik remarked. "Did you see his right hand? It was on his chest, and his chin was up. It was like a fairy tale for any boxer, not just Dubois." Further reflecting on the fight, pro boxer Terence Crawford weighed in on AJ's performance, noting that Joshua's overconfidence after landing a good shot in the 5th round led to his downfall. Crawford said, "It was a great fight. I think Joshua got overconfident. He hurt him with a shot and went for the kill but forgot about his defense and the fundamentals. This lapse in judgment left AJ vulnerable, ultimately sealing his fate in the ring." Crawford added that Dubious was the better man on the fight night. He continued, "I always stated that the better man was going to win today and Dubois was the better man. He came to fight. You could see it in his eyes that he was not leaving the ring without that victory." However, Tyson Fury said that this sort of thing happens in the heavyweight division of boxing, where a good right hand can be so devastating for you.
Tyson, your reaction?
Yes, Tyson.
It's heavyweight boxing, boys. It happens. Shit happens. You get knocked spark out. It could have been me. It could have been you. It could have been anybody. In the heavyweight division, it's what happens. One punch away from being smashed, knocked out.
what went wrong?
Tyson Fury further said that age caught up to Anthony Joshua. He further stated, "I thought it was a 50-50 fight. Dubois is a lot younger. He's 27 years old. Joshua is 35, the same age as me. Age doesn't wait for anybody. You get hit with those punches. You don't see many heavyweights get hit, get knocked down, get back up, and continue on." The future of heavyweight boxing is full of possibilities. Whether it's Joshua, Fury, or Dubois, the next big fight is just around the corner. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more boxing updates. Drop your predictions in the comments. Who do you think takes the crown next?